Laker fans, the NBA draft is over. It's time for NBA free agency, but we got to at least talk about what happened in the 2019 NBA draft because honestly, the Lakers got a little bit more busy than most people thought. So let's break it down for you right here on Chat Sports. Of course, they traded their first round pick, which was number 4 overall, to the New Orleans Pelicans for Anthony Davis, which I believe we all can agree was more than worth it. And then, all of a sudden, they trade into the second round and select Talen Horton-Tucker with the 46th overall pick. And right after the draft comes to a close, the Lakers are like, hey, let's start signing some undrafted free agents, and that's what they did. But let's talk about their first pick, their only pick, Talen Horton-Tucker out of Iowa State. Incredible wingspan. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. He's a freshman. He is one of the youngest players in this draft, and he's got a ton of upside. I mean, there's a lot of room to work with Talen Horton-Tucker. He actually never worked out with the Los Angeles Lakers, but he is a Clutch Sports client, of course, with Rich Paul, so that automatically helps you get in good with the LA team. Now, 11.8 points per game, 4.9 rebounds, 2.3 assists, and then only 30.8% in his only season at Iowa State. His shooting could definitely go up. I think some time in the G League may do him well, but he really won't spend that much time there. I'm excited about Talen Horton-Tucker in LA, and honestly, this is one of the biggest reasons why. He's 6'4", so, there you could go with shooting guard, small forward, whichever way you kind of want to go with him. He's 235 pounds with 8.4% body fat. Once he gets into an NBA locker room, into an NBA gym, he's going to start to slim down, lose some of that weight. But the wingspan is one of the most unique height to wingspan ratios we have ever seen. 6'4" with a 7'1" wingspan. It's absolutely ridiculous. I love that the Lakers traded late into the second round and picked up this guy out of Iowa State. I'd be excited if I were you. I mean, look, 11.8 points per game and the 4.9 rebounds aren't exactly going to wow you, but it's the intangibles and it's his upside that are. It's what you get excited for. And so how did they do it? Well, again, they didn't have a second-round pick, but they got their way in there. Talen Horton-Tucker was falling. The Lakers said, hey, that's our guy. Let's go get him. So they traded a future second-round pick, next year's, and, of course, cash considerations, one of the best players in the draft, for the 46th overall pick. Swapped that with the Orlando Magic and went and got Iowa State's Talen Horton-Tucker. Then the draft comes to a close, and the Lakers are like, wait a second, there's some talent that we still like. Let's go out and get a couple guys. Zach NORVELL Jr. out of Gonzaga, 37% career three-point shooter, spent his freshman and sophomore year there, shot 37% in both seasons, and the guy can play either the point guard or the two-guard position. He helped a Gonzaga basketball team that was super good, won quite a few games. He helped them win a lot of them. 14.9 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, 3.1 assists. He's actually a guy that I truly thought was going to get picked up late in the draft. And lo and behold, the Lakers go out and give him a two-way contract. And of course, two-way contract means NORVELL will spend some time in the G League, but he'll also get about half the season with the Los Angeles Lakers as well, which will do him some good to get some really good NBA experience. But then they got another guy, undrafted guy, ARIC HOLMAN. That's probably the only time I've ever seen ARIC spelled that way, but big man out of Mississippi State. He's a true catch-and-shoot threat as a big man. He can stretch the floor. He's got a good three-point shot. He's about 6'10", and he can attack off the dribble. He's pretty athletic. He's not overly big, but his senior year wasn't all that great. NBA scouts wanted to see him step up and really take command of this Mississippi State team. He didn't do that. 9.5 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, but the 42.9% from three is what makes him an intriguing prospect. So we'll see exactly what the details are on his deal, but we know we'll see him in the Lakers Summer League, probably in training camp, as the Lakers do need some big man help, and ARIC HOLMAN truly can be that. I'm excited to see what he can do in the Summer League. Probably stretch the floor is his number one goal. Now this guy, Jordan Caroline, this is one of my sleepers in the draft. And the Lakers went out and got him after the draft. They signed him to an Exhibit 10 contract. If you want to know what that is, DM me on Twitter. We can figure it out later. But played small forward all the way to center at Nevada. So he played 3 different positions because he is built. He is a super athletic guy. And he won all-conference player quite a bit, too. He's a solid player for Nevada. He averaged 17 points per game, 9.6 rebounds, 1.9 assists. And even though he's big, he's got the big athletic body, he still shot nearly 37% from beyond the three-point arc. You're going to see a lot of Jordan Caroline in the Summer League. You'll probably see a little bit of him in the G League. And if you're lucky, if he's lucky, the Lakers struck gold, maybe they can get him into the NBA. Jordan Caroline, a quality pickup. Now, another guy that you probably hadn't heard of, I didn't really know a whole lot about going into the draft. Actually, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know anything about him going into the draft. But once he signed with the Lakers, I looked him up, found out a little bit about him. Devontae out of UNC Wilmington. He got signed to an Exhibit 10 contract as well. He played center at UNC Wilmington. This was the most interesting thing. I looked up his highlights. I was like, oh, 6'7", probably a forward, probably can stretch the floor, right? No. This guy played center in college at 6'7", 15.2 points per game, 12.3 rebounds, and then none of his other numbers really stuck out to you. I almost put in his senior year that he shot 100% from three, because he did. 1 for 1. He shot 1 3 all 4 years in college, and he made the one. So he's a 100% three-point shooter. I guess that's a plus. So let's look back at what the five guys that the Lakers did pick up in the draft and post-draft. Talen Horton-Tucker at 46 traded their way up to get him. Zach Norvell Jr. signing a two-way deal. I love that. I do think he will be able to get in on an NBA roster. ARIC Holman, Jordan Caroline, and then Devontae out of UNC Wilmington are the three guys there at the end. Devontae Kaycock. That's who it is. The Lakers, of course, here's what they did with the draft. I love it. They got Horton-Tucker, and then they got Norvell Jr., who I think was a really good pickup after the fact. So what do I grade it? I'm giving it an A. I think it was really solid all around for the Lakers. Getting Horton-Tucker in at 46 is low risk, high reward. If the guy can meet his ceiling, if he can continue to improve his body and three-point shot, he's going to be a role player at the next level, and potentially, hopefully, for the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm going to give it an A. That's not what I think. It's not about what I think. It's not about what we do here at Chat Sports. It's about Laker Nation. We want to know what you give the Lakers draft grade. A, B, C, D, or F. Also include those undrafted free agents in there. But now let's get around to some free agency rumors, because we've officially turned the page from the draft. We're looking ahead. This is all that matters if you're a Lakers fan. Nikola Vucevic might be a target for the Lakers this summer. Adrian Wojnarowski says if Orlando can't bring him back for a max contract because he is an all-star, that's probably what he'll demand, then the Lakers are going to be a team that are definitely going to be interested. Now, he was named to an all-star team this past season. First time, absolutely deserved it, but he had a really bad showing in the NBA playoffs. It wasn't pretty for Orlando, so I guess there's a small chance he could get less than the max, but I wouldn't count on it because his stats last season were absolutely stellar for the Orlando Magic, who did make the playoffs. 20.8 points per game, 12 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and this guy is the definition of a stretch five. 36.4% from beyond the three-point arc. His best shot is from the top of the key. I do love Nikola Vucevic, and I do love him for the Lakers, but I don't know if I love him for the max, but that's okay, because there's other teams chasing as well. The Dallas Mavericks expected to have some interest because there's some connection there with Porzingis and Luka Doncic. The Celtics are another team that will jump on it if the Magic do not give him the money he wants. But in all reality, the Magic do want to bring him back. I'd expect him to get a max contract there and stay in Orlando. But if he doesn't, then the Lakers might get lucky and have him as their starting center next season. And he basically does everything that Anthony Davis doesn't do, and Anthony Davis does all the things that Nikola Vucevic doesn't do. So you get those two as your starting front court, along with LeBron James, and really that's all that matters, right? Well, you also get Kyle Kuzma, who's an 18.7 point per game scorer, and I put Rajon Rondo in there at the starting point guard. We actually have no idea who's going to start at point for the Lakers quite yet, but this starting five is pretty scary. I like it a lot for the Lakers. Vucevic, Davis, and LeBron, and then Kuzma. I mean, that's a great four of a starting five. And then, in all reality, Nikola Vucevic isn't the only big-name center out there. You also got a guy like Boogie Cousins, who the Lakers have been rumored to be interested in and connected to for quite a while, despite his Achilles tear, his quad tear, and his poor showing in the finals. Al Horford with the Celtics now, maybe not for much longer. Brook Lopez, a former Laker, I could definitely see them wanting to bring back a stretch five like him. And Marc Gasol of the Raptors, still yet to see what he's going to do with his option. But if he opts out, I would not be surprised to see the Lakers jump all over it. But that kind of comes down to, who do you like better, Nikola Vucevic or Boogie Cousins? Because if the Lakers prioritize a center, I do believe these will be the two guys they look at the closest. Vucevic really has the edge in just about everything, But that's because DeMarcus Cousins was hurt this past year. So it's a very limited sample size, about a little more than 30 games, plus the playoffs. You know, is it really fair to compare the two right now? I don't know. Boogie, you're probably not going to have to pay a max. Vucevic, you probably will have to pay a max. What do you want to do? Let me know, Laker Nation. If you'd rather have Boogie Cousins type B in the comment section below. If you'd rather have Nikola Vucevic, put a V down there in the comment section. So from the big men now, we transition into a potential new yet old starting point guard with the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's D'Angelo Russell of the Brooklyn Nets. Man, if the Lakers miss out on some of these top guys, and D'Angelo Russell is still sitting in free agency without a contract, the Lakers may be looking to bring him back. Despite all the drama that went on with him, he would actually make some sense. He would actually fit in well as a starting point guard here. He is a restricted free agent, so the Brooklyn Nets can match whatever, assuming they don't bring back Kyrie Irving and don't want to put that starting backcourt, which would be really weird, between Russell and Irving. But look, he was an all-star last year. 21 points per game and 7 assists. That's huge. Russell is not the same player he was from the first time he was on the Lakers. And the Lakers are not the same team that they were when Russell was there the last time. So things have changed on both ends. It actually kind of makes some sense, at least on the court, at least on paper. So if you look on the court, what they could potentially have, you have 3 guys, possibly 4 with Kuzma, that are going to consistently score 20-plus points per game. D'Angelo Russell, 21.1 points per game, 7 assists. He can also pass the ball really well. He is going to look to find the open teammate when he needs to, and that open teammate could very well be LeBron James, Anthony Davis, or Kyle Kuzma. And sure, I'll throw Reggie Bullock in there because they can bring him back. They can overpay for him, and he's a good shooter. Just put him out on the wing. Let him make some shots. Let D'Angelo Russell find him in transition. I could see it happening. But if they miss out on D'Angelo Russell, there's nothing to worry about because there are a lot of top-tier point guards available on the market this summer. And it starts with Kyrie Irving, who actually may be replacing D'Angelo Russell in Brooklyn as the starting point guard. Kemba Walker is another guy. He's going to garner a lot of interest from a lot of different teams. He can also get the Supermax, so it might be hard to pry him away from Charlotte, but he is definitely someone the Lakers are interested in. Then you see D'Angelo Russell in there. Malcolm Brogdon, you can play him at point. The Milwaukee Bucks did it. He would definitely work out. He is a restricted guy as well. And then number 5, a big drop-off here, but it's Ricky Rubio. If you just want a guy that's going to pass, make the right play, be smart, maybe even occasionally knock down a three-point jumper, Ricky Rubio could make some sense. But Laker fans, I want to know from you, who should be the Lakers' new starting point guard next year? Let me know in the comment section